Hi, welcome back to Anime Recaps. Today, I will explain the movie Your Name. Mitsuha is woken up by a vivid dream of her interacting with someone called Taki. As she gets ready for school, her grandmother and her sister ask her if she is back to normal. She is confused by their statement. She is interrupted by an announcement on the news detailing a comet that will make a pass close to Earth. She later meets up with her friends, Saika and Tessie. As they make their way to school, they bump into Mitsuha's dad, who is the mayor of the town campaigning for re-election. He scolds her for poor posture, embarrassing her in front of the crowd. At school, her friends also comment about her strange behavior the previous day. Mitsuha has no recollection of what happened. Back in class, she sees a note in her book asking, "Who are you?" This confuses her some more. Later that evening, Mitsuha takes part in some weaving and sake making. On a walk with her sister, she complains about how boring their rural town is and proclaims her wish to be a Tokyo boy in her next life. The next morning, Mitsuha wakes up in a male high schooler's body named Taki. She grabs the male bodies by the private just to make sure she's a boy. Mitsuha, in Taki's body, engages with his friends Tsukasa and Shinta as well as with his coworker Miki. They all find his behavior unusual. Both Mitsuha and Taki come to the realization that they switch bodies on certain days. They live through the other's activities and social interactions for that day. Learning they can communicate by leaving messages, they set some ground rules to protect each other's lifestyles. Mitsuha, in Taki's body, progressed the relationship with coworker Miki by setting up a date, while Taki, in Mitsuha's body, makes her popular at school. One day, Taki, in Mitsuha's body, accompanies her grandmother and little sister to leave a ritual sake made by the sisters as an offering at the Shinto shrine. This is located at a mountaintop in the outskirts of town. Mitoha explains its significance as it connects the guardian deity and the people. After waking up in his own body, Taki rushes to his date with Miki. Though Miki enjoyed the date, she realizes that his mind and heart is with someone else. Taki tries to call Mitsuha, but she instead receives a call from Tessie, and the two make an agreement to meet at the festival to witness the comet. Taki's call doesn't connect as the body switching between the two ends. Life goes on for Taki. However, this experience has had a profound impact on him. He conducts research on the rural town he visited as Mitsuha, even drawing an excellent sketch of the town. With his research complete, he sets out with Miki and Tsukasa in search of Mitsuha. With the drawings in hand, a restaurant owner recognizes the town in the sketch. He was a native of the place and reveals the name of the town as Itamori. The natives takes Taki and his friends to Itamori, which is now in ruins. Turns out, the town was destroyed when the comet unexpectedly fragmented and killed 500 of the town's residents. This happened 3 years earlier in 2013. Completely in shock, Taki checks his phone only to see Mitsuha's messages disappear from his phone. His memories of her also start to fade. The impossible dawns on him: the two were separated by time, as he is in 2016. Disturbed by this, he checks the records of fatalities and finds Mitsuha, Tessie, and Sayaka's names there. They died 3 years ago. Taki makes his way to the shrine, remembering Grandma Mitoha's speech about how time is connected. With hopes to reconnect with Mitsuha, he drinks the ritual sake Mitsuha made 3 years earlier. This sends him back in time, giving him one last body switch with Mitsuha. Mitoha senses the body switch and tells him that it is an ability that has been passed down as they take care of the shrine. With a full grasp of the situation, Taki, in Mitsuha's body, convinces her friends about the impending danger the town faces. They concoct a plan to save the town. Meanwhile, Mitsuha, in Taki's body, is devastated to learn of the town's fate. She is now 3 years in the future. After failing to convince the mayor of the danger, Taki makes his way back to the shrine, realizing Mitsuha is there in his body. As he does, he recalls an encounter he had with Mitsuha. She came to Tokyo the day before the comet fell, but Taki didn't recognize her. The body switching hadn't started yet in his timeline. Mitsuha gave him her ribbon before leaving. He wore it ever since without knowing why until now. At the mountaintop during sunset, the two can sense each other, but due to the differing timeframes they can't see one another. As twilight falls, they switch back to their bodies, which enables them to get a glimpse of each other. Taki gives Mitsuha her ribbon back as they flirt. The comet comes into view, reminding Mitsuha of the work to be done. They attempt to write their names on each other's palm, so they don't forget when they wake up. Before Mitsuha can write hers, twilight passes, sending them to their own timelines. Left with no cues, Taki forgets about her. Back in her timeline, Mitsuha and friends execute the plan by blowing up the electrical substation while broadcasting a false emergency alert. This fails to evacuate the town's people. Noticing this, Mitsuha runs to convince her dad to evacuate the town. She later discovers the love note Taki wrote on her hand as her memory of him fades. Not long after, the comet hits the town. 5 years later, Taki has graduated from university, but struggles to find a job. Even in anime, the college scam exists. He has this consistent longing for something, and has also an unexplainable interest in the comet that destroyed the town. In this timeline, the residents of the town were evacuated before the comet hit. They succeeded. There were no fatalities to everyone's amazement. Mitsuha is now living in Tokyo, also has the consistent longing for something. They have both forgotten about each other. One day on the train, they see one another, and that consistent longing is answered as they were yearning for each other. They quickly get off their respective trains to trace the other. They meet at the stairs of Suga Shrine. Taki calls out to Mitsuha, asking if they have met before. The time-crossed lovers have finally reunited. With tears of joy in their eyes, they simultaneously ask for each other's names.